think that's neat. I still have to do the FATUTU banner. Okay, I'm gonna pretend I know what's going on. Bang, spirit shell. So 16? Quick math. The building on itself, it just got easier to build on itself. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. FATUTU, free me, no! All right, first of all, happy birthday, Sotheby. I have no idea when this video is going up. It's probably past, way past, well past. But we're starting with lore, and I always love lore. Today's little fact of the day is that in 1896, the first modern Olympic Games concluded in Athens, Greece. Meanwhile, registration for that year's Alluru Games began, and I think that's neat. Because even when we've been playing the Alluru Games events, I wanted to know how it like compared to like actual human Olympics, and now we know. So they did a normal Olympics, and we're like, that's cool, we're gonna do that with Arcanist now. Okay, so this is my first time logging in for the second half of 2.3. Is it 2.3? Did I get that right? 2.4. It's 2.4, 2.5 live stream is next week. So I'm missing unilogs. I did not finish Barcarola's character story because I was in the big sad spiral. So we're here. I thought that I could do Regulus's anecdote on the 15th. I think I was supposed to have finished that on the 14th. I think I goofed that a little bit. I also have a lot of unused cell stuff. We have to look at FATUTU though, because I haven't done that yet, and I'm super behind for this patch because I haven't been logging in. Condensed patches always get me, and not in a good way of like, they got me. Like reverse has got me. No, it's the bad way of I need more time, bestie. I do need some more time here. Yeah. So there is one thing we do have to use out of the warehouse though, because I grabbed the wish in a bottle and didn't use it. So I wanted to save it. We have to pick a 5-star character that I want. I'm trying to look like, who don't I have? Barbara and August could both be good options because they're newer characters. I have Axe, Sweetheart, Baby Blue, Charlie. Oh, it clicked. Okay. Balloon, Necrologist. I think I have Click. I don't know if I have Click, but I know I'm missing Diggers. Gonna say, and then these two down here, August and Barbara. I think I might grab Barbara just so we have, but I do have Vila as my healer, but Barbara's another heal option. What does August do? What is your kit again? You are also DPS and heal. I just don't remember what he does because it's been a minute. Mass buff. Grants the cure status to all allies for 1 round at the start of each round. Recovers HP. Because what is Barbara? Spirit. It might be smarter to go for Barbara because I already have a plant healer being Vila. So probably instead of grabbing August, it would be smarter to grab Barbara. I think I'm gonna grab Barbara. She's also a spirit character. Does she have, well, I was thinking I could use her on a poison team, but did not get Willow. I'm gonna grab Barbara. Welcome to the team, Barbara. We have a spirit character now. I don't have a ton of spirit characters, so this is probably good. It's what she deserves. Oh, I love Barbara. You can for sure take a look around Barbara. Okay, that is just like overflow for this patch that I didn't deal with earlier. So here's the deal. If we go to last evenings, we do have some stuff we need to do, but I also want to check if I can do... No, I think I ran out of time to do Regulus's anecdote, which you know what that means. It's going on the schedule as something, because here's the thing, I've not been taking, if I miss an event for whatever reason, or skip it for whatever reason, I haven't been taking it off the schedule. I'm keeping it on the schedule, and it's almost like a penalty if I don't do it in time. I then have to do main story content, because I'm so behind on main story content in every single live service game that I play, that I'm not penalizing myself for it. But it's not really even a penalty because I enjoy it. I just don't have time for it, so we're gonna make time. The Regulus anecdote best band in town is now skipped for story. I apologize, Regulus. I do still love you. There we go. It's on the schedule. So that'll, when I get to that, like going back through, because my schedule is also backlogged now. When I go through my backlogged schedule and hit that, that means I have to do story before anything else. So I still have to do the FATUTU banner. So if we go to summons here, nothing really new has dropped. We went over all the new patch stuff in that video forever ago. FATUTU has 8 days left. So we're gonna take a quick look at her kit. We're gonna go through it. We don't have a 5-star to look at. We just have new mineral character, FATUTU. We're gonna go through her kit. Then we're gonna try her, and then we might pull if I like how she plays, especially because I could always use more mineral characters. I think I could use a couple. We also, however, if I don't love FATUTU'S kit, I probably will pull for Wind Song. 1, because she's star, and 2, I have Vila, and I think Vila, I don't want to separate them. I don't want to separate Vila and Winsong. I'm going to be so honest. Also, didn't remember if I had click, and I don't know August, so this will probably be the banner we pull on. I'm not sure though. I might love FATUTU'S kit. So let's take a look at what she does. She's a healer. I just grabbed a healer. It does healing, dispelling, and as an extra action. So, I mean, if you just grabbed Flutter Page, might be an interesting team comp to run, but I didn't grab Flutter Page. I tried, but I didn't. So I ended up getting Baccarola instead. So we'll see what happens. What does she do though? For starters, we're gonna go through her skills over here. So we're gonna start with her ult, Proverb of the Sea. This is a single target attack that deals 700% mental damage, deploys all Spirit Shell, and inflicts Shell Beacon on the target for 2 rounds. So what is Spirit Shell? This is a special move when being attacked with an extra action. So being attacked with an extra action. So I'm assuming that's when we get... Oh, when you attack your opponent with an extra action, specifically, damage dealt goes up by 5%, and critical damage also goes up by 5% for that attack. This is stackable. I'm assuming we'll get a buff for this somewhere, maybe either it's in pay to play or insight somewhere. After being attacked, FATUTU also retrieves 1 stack of Spirit Shell. So if we get hit, it builds. Okay, interesting. Shell Beacon then is a negative status where each retrieval of Spirit Shell from this target deploy an equal number of Spirit Shell. Okay, I'm gonna pretend I know what's going on. Okay, what I'm curious, I want to check this really quickly because it's gonna bother me and I'm gonna forget. Does Barcarola do extra action? Because I think she does. I feel like somewhere in her kit she does an extra action. Is it with the impromptu incantation? Is impromptu incantation considered an extra action? Because that makes sense then, that you would want to use them together. I think that's how this works. I'm gonna say that's how this works because that makes the most sense in my brain to run them together like that, but I'm not entirely 100% on that. Okay, going to her debuff incantation. This is Unmendable Cracks. This is also a single target attack that deals 120% mental damage. After attacking, deploys 3 stacks of Spirit Shell. That is the special buff. This also dispels 1 type of stats down, negative status, or control effect from all allies. So it's basically exactly what it says on the tin, a debuff. I didn't go through, I am so out of practice. I forgot to go through the other incantations. That was all for incantation level 1. At incantation level 2, Unmendable Cracks goes up to dealing 180% mental damage, but the number of stacks of Spirit Shell stays the same. However, it now dispels 2 types of negative status effects instead of 1. At incantation level 3, then it deals 300% mental damage. You still get the 3 stacks of Spirit Shell, but also it dispels 3 types of negative status effects instead of 1 or 2 from the previous levels. Boom, that's how that one works. Buff skill, then Ocean in the Shell. This is a mass buff. Equally redistributes the HP of all allies, grants 3 stacks of Shared Shells, Shared Fate to all allies, and retreats all stacks of Spirit Shell. So Shared Shells, Shared Fate then is a positive status effect that when being attacked, the damage taken is shared among all allies, and it takes away 1, so -1 stack after each damage share, stacks up to 30 times. So you can do this 30 times in a battle, which reverse 1999 battles don't tend to be that long unless it's like a really beefy boss battle. So you should be okay there. I'm also realizing they're now putting the important like cliff notes at the bottom of the card details, which I think is really interesting because I always end up clicking on it, and I implore like every gacha game I play to do that, where I can click on little things like that to get like the cliff notes. And they just started putting it like visibly there when other gacha games I played still don't have this. And it irks me. All right. But yeah, that's incantation level 1. At incantation level 2, you grant 5 stacks of Shared Shells. And then at level 3, it's 8 stacks. So not too crazy. At the end of the day, FATUTU is a support character. Don't use her as a DPS. She has a very straightforward kit, and that is because she is a support. Supports in reverse tend to have pretty straightforward kits for the most part. That's not like a hard and fast truth, but generally it's the case a lot of the time. I'm actually surprised by how simple her kit is for it being a 6-star character. It feels like a very dated kit just because Reverse 1999 has had some insane character kits lately. Like literally, you look at a character like Anjo Nala, whose kit felt like rocket science to me, and FATUTU'S is like really simple, quite frankly. I don't hate it though, because sometimes characters with simple kits are the better ones, quite frankly. Not Anjonala though, I love her. Okay, going to insight levels. Shell necklace, yay! So at insight level 1, When entering battle, Fatutu gains 8 stacks of Spirit Shell, and then when deploying Spirit Shell, Fatutu has a 20% chance to gain a +1 Moxie. It mentions retrieving, so I guess retrieving is like when you stack Spirit Shell, and then when deploying Spirit Shell is when you inevitably end up using that. So I think that's how that works. Yes, so after being attacked, Fatutu retrieves 1 stack, so every time she gets attacked, she gains 1. Reusing the word retrieve feels weird, but it is what it is. You can't really see it because of how the UI, my box and all that, but it's there. And then the deploying would be that when the damage dealt goes up. Yes, okay. So when retrieving Spirit Shell in that case, or when you get hit, you recover a set amount of HP, and that set amount is the number of stacks of Spirit Shell currently retrieved, totally retrieved. Maybe it's total. Unsure if it's current or total, but it's going to take that number times Fatutu's attack, and then it's 30% of that, I believe. Also, when an enemy carrying Spirit Shells dies, you retrieve all stacks of Spirit Shell from that enemy. So her Insight 1 seems like the best. We haven't even got to 3 yet, but this seems like, obviously, in order for a character to be a viable unit, you at least got to get him to like Insight 2 or something, at the very least. But her Insight 1 is pretty good. I do like that buff like a lot, and it's a very easy, simple buff to get because it's Insight 1. However, at Insight 2, we have our means to an end. Attack plus 5% when you enter battle. It's simple. Then at Insight 3, when entering battle, you gain 4 additional stacks of Spirit Shell for self. So you take that 8, you get 4 more. Then after Fatutu accumulates a total of 7 deployments and or retrievals of Spirit Shell, which I think this immediately will proc as soon as you get into battle. We'll do the math in a second. But after that 7 deployments or retrievals, it's the same. Basically, anytime you interact with Spirit Shell, trigger a rank 1 unmendable cracks on the enemy with the most stacks of Spirit Shell. I'm assuming that might be the extra action, because yeah, if you're at Insight 3, when that will proc, you get 8 stacks of Spirit Shell to begin with, so after you accumulate a total of 7, I'm assuming that would just insta-proc, you know, like instantly it hits, because it's the 7, and they probably did that purposely, so that as soon as you get into battle, bang, Spirit Shell. I'm assuming that's how that works? This unmendable cracks, though, I believe that is her ultimate. No, what's unmendable? Unmendable is the debuff. Okay. It is a single target attack, though, so you do get an extra action attack. It's just also a debuff. So basically, how this works then, once you reach 7, you get a rank 1 incantation, unmendable cracks, but it also dispels a negative thing, but you also at the same time deploy another 3 stacks, so it starts building on itself. Like once you hit 7, it uses it up, but it's done, and then you get 3 more, so you're already halfway to the next time of running that, right? Like it just builds on itself. Okay, like I said, her kit is very straightforward for a 6-star kit, and I like that. It makes this video go by quickly, which is great because we're already late. Anyways, we are going to move on to the pay-to-play section. Now, while I move my box, I will explain, but also not really. The pay-to-play section of the video is when we go look at the characters, kits, details in terms of their portrait info. Now, in order to get portraits on a character, 9 times out of 10, you will have to spend money. 1 or 2 copies is probably totally doable, especially if you've saved. However, this is where you're spending money, and it's the more levels of portraits you go up, the more money you are going to have to spend. So only do this if you have the disposable income. Maybe you got some extra tax money laying around. I do this year. Heck yeah. Haven't gotten it yet, though, because I waited to the last minute to do my taxes. I did them yesterday. But like, this is the part where like, if you don't have the money to be throwing around, you don't need to. Do not do it. I also think everything here, I think Fatutu will be a great support without the portraits, but if you do want to spend a little bit of money, this is where you do that. Spend responsibly, let's go. So everything we just went over is Fatutu at portrait 0, P0. From here on out, it gets more and more expensive, but generally the buffs get better, but sometimes you don't need to go that crazy, and that's okay. Portrait level 1 or 2 copies of Fatutu is a buff for Shell Necklace that is in relation to her passive skills as you level up her insight. So then when entering battle, the additional stacks of Spirit Shell gained for self is increased to 8. So I'm assuming, I have no idea because it's gain 8 stacks. When entering battle, the additional stacks of Spirit Shell gained for self is increased to 8. That simply, is this the same? Is it 8? I'm assuming it's in relation to Insight 3, where you gain a total of the 4 additional. So I think it doubles the 4 additional. So you then get 8 times 2. So 16? Quick math. Because that says additional stacks. So yes, this portrait level 1 is a buff for Insight level 3 Shell Necklace. Okay, same page. At portrait level 2 then, or 3 copies of FATUTU, this is another buff for Shell Necklace, where the number of times required to trigger unmendable cracks from deploying or retrieving Spirit Shell is decreased to 5. So already, if a level 1 incantation being deployed gets you 3, you only need 2 more instances of interacting with Spirit Shell to proc it again. So it just keeps going. Again, the building on itself, it just got easier to build on itself. So how are we feeling about the relevance here? I feel like 1 and 2, like if you really like using FATUTU, 1 and 2 do kind of make her cracked, which is something we don't see a ton, considering that not just reverse, but all live service gacha games will tend to, when they have these like multiple copies of the character, will do this thing where they make like 2, in this case it would be 2 and 4, or like I think like the Hoyo games go up to having 6 copies where you can get buffs for the character. So it'll be like 2, I think it's still 2 and 4. But you know, there's always what I like to call means to an ends buffs and levels where it's just like attack plus 5%, or like something stupid that you really don't need, but like if you're going to another level on portraits, it can be worth it. 2 is usually the one you see in reverse kits that does that. It's 1 or 2. It's depending on how they do it. It's going to be one of them. I think both of these are valid, especially if you're using FATUTU a lot. I think 1 and 2 are actually kind of decent. Like they're not huge buffs, but depending on in practice, like in theory, they seem great, but in practice, maybe maybe I'm giving Spirit Shell a lot more credit than it deserves. So maybe these are both like unnecessary means to an ends portraits. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that part of the video yet. So level 3 is then going to be 4 copies of FATUTU. This is a buff for unmendable cracks, which is her debuff that is also buffed through the shell necklace and all that. So at incantation rank 1, 2, or 3, the mental damage dealt is increased to 180, 270, or 450%, which is a very big jump from the 300% I believe that you originally get with rank 3. The deployed stacks of Spirit Shell is increased to 4. Again, pretty great if you have like the other shell necklace buffs. And when deploying Spirit Shell, the chance to gain Moxie is increased to 25%. I'm curious what the initial percentage for gaining Moxie is. It does not say here, but I'm curious what that initial percentage is. Just curious about it. Level 3, I actually think is good. I think it's pretty good. Honestly, truly, if you really like using FATUTU and you are a whale, maybe you do want to get all of her portraits. Just so far, I'm seeing a trend here. But however, I think she'll be okay without. I think low spenders are okay in just getting 1 copy. Maybe if FATUTU is like the pillar of your team for supports, you get more copies later on. I believe these characters will be going into the standard banner pool as of 2.7, so a couple months down the road. So you don't need to go too crazy. These are not like limited characters. They're limited quotation marks characters, because eventually they will go to standard. Especially the live stream for 2.5 hasn't happened yet, but that is the Chinatown patch, and I've seen a lot of good things about the characters for that patch. So if you are thinking about saving, maybe don't do this yet. But moving on, we have 2 more portraits to get through. So level 4 portrait, or 5 copies. Have I been doing this right? Yeah, I have been doing this right. Okay. 5 copies of FATUTU is a buff for Ocean in the Shell. That is her buff skill, specifically that equally redistributes the HP bit. So with this one, the stacks of shared shells granted to all allies is increased to 4, 6, or 10, depending on the incantation level, which is going to be a jump from the 3, 5, and 8. So basically, it is 1 more, 1 more, and then 2 more. So you get 10 on incantation 3. And then when retrieving Spirit Shell, the healing factor is increased to 40%. Again, I actually do think this one's a means to an end because it's a buff for a stacking mechanic and it's not crazy, you know, because the shared shells is just that the damage is the same. It only stacks 30 times. So you do this, if you get it to incantation level 3 times, you're done. So I don't think that level 4 is super necessary, but if we go look at portrait level 5, where this might change things, this is going to be 6 copies of the character. This is whale territory. The average player probably doesn't need this, especially because FATUTU seems like a good character without. But when being attacked, oh, this is a buff for Shell Necklace, by the way, we're going back to her passive. When being attacked with an extra action for each stack of Spirit Shell held, that attack's damage dealt increase is now 6%, and the crit damage increase is now 6%. I thought this would be more, quite frankly, because it's only 5 with Spirit Shell here, it's 5%. But now you'd only get 1 extra percentage. Quite frankly, I don't think 4 and 5 portraits are really worth it for the price you will have to pay to get those portraits. I will say that right now. I think going to 3 is as far as you need to go if you are like trying to min-max your team comps. I think 3, you can cut it off at 3. Quite frankly, you could probably cut it off at 1 or 2. But if you, the main 3 portraits here, I feel like you're good. You don't really need to go to 4 or 5. They're kind of just like there. Obviously, if you get those copies, especially because she's going into the standard pool, by the way. If you go to 3, inevitably you probably will get 4 or 5 if you're a high spender, because if you're going all the way to 3, you're probably a high spender. So you will lose your 50-50 somewhere down the road and probably get these 4 and 5 copies. Just saying. But I think 3 is as far as you need to go for her if you really want to make min-max. Quite frankly though, average player, you probably can stay out portrait 0, 1 copy of FATUTU and be okay. Especially because she's going to standard and you might accidentally get her from losing a 50-50 in a couple months' time. Just saying. Also, if you're looking forward to any of the upcoming characters, I know the Chinese server is a little bit ahead of us still, so if you are curious, you can see upcoming characters. It's not a secret. And I'm looking forward to some upcoming characters. So I think I might save on FATUTU, and I think I might just save, quite frankly. However, we do have to do her survey. That is one thing. I almost finished the video. We do have to do her survey here. I do still plan on trying to, I'm just seeing her minigame and her story. At the very least, I'm speeding this through to skip. I will skip story if I have to, because I love these sort of games, these like brick breaker or like ball breaker games. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. And I might get obsessed with this really right here. We skipped Barcarola because I wasn't feeling well, but we cannot skip FATUTU'S because this looks so good. This looks like something I'm really, really, really going to enjoy. So, also whatever is going on here with the little like hut, I love that. That's fun. All right, let me reset. I say reset, but I'm gonna move my box to the proper place. Give me a second. I should really set something up in OBS for this. I'm literally gonna pause my recording, and by pause it, stop the footage, because I need to set something up in OBS it's been a long time coming. Give me a minute. Give me 2 seconds. It's gonna be more than 2 seconds, but give me a minute. I just paused because I do this. I just needed an OBS scene for this. I move my box to this specific position frequently, and I just don't have an OBS scene. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. This is, as long as we stock enough supplies, something trade season. Spoiler, why is it cut off? I'm skipping this part because I didn't sign up for this. Okay. No, we're not joining FATUTU on her journey. Free me. Free me! I hit the wrong button! No! I don't want to explore. FATUTU, free me. No! I'm literally about to force quit. Hold on, I'm force quitting the game. I don't, this isn't what I signed up for. I hit the start button instead of, I hit the wrong button, okay? I do still plan on doing FATUTU's story. I just didn't want to start it. Very interesting setup, though. It looks definitely more like a mini game than an actual character story, which is quite interesting. Like, I wasn't expecting that at all when I opened it up accidentally. See, we're fine. Okay, we go back to last evening, so please don't immediately throw me in. Cool. We're here for the survey. Let me in. Okay, what team are we rocking with? What are we rocking with? I'm curious. Oh, there's Flutterpage. What do you know? All right, we have Nyangzi, Flutterpage, FATUTU, and Lopera. All right, so 2 mineral, a star, and a beast. Okay, interesting. So I'm trying to... Nyangzi is obviously our DPS. Flutterpage is probably a burst. Support. She's support. FATUTU is also support, and then Lopera would be a... It's just a straight support. Okay, so this is a hyper carry. This is Nyangzi hyper carry. Okay, interesting. All right, let's start this bad boy. Let's give it a shot. So how I run these, just so if anyone's curious, is I will prioritize FATUTU's incantations first, and then we'll just like go down the line because it's a trial thing. I just want to see what FATUTU can do. So I believe this is one of FATUTU's. Ocean in the Shell, yes, as well as this one over here, Unmendable Cracks. So we're going to run Unmendable Cracks, Ocean in the Shell, and then we are just going to run whatever I would like to run. So this is Unmendable Cracks. That is the single target attack. And then Ocean in the Shell is that mass buff, but it doesn't really do anything because everyone is like the same right now. There's no HP to like redistribute, you know? So I feel like it would be better if we start stacking things. So I might try to do that. But there's that extra action from FATUTU after somebody got hit, which is interesting. So I'm just gonna try and stack some stuff and then we'll do that buff again. But now I'm kind of just waiting it out for an ult. I'm not being super specific about team strategies here. I just really want to see how these characters work together, how FATUTU works specifically. I'm not being super specific about it. I also will not prioritize other characters' ults until we see FATUTU's, quite frankly, because I don't want to prematurely end this. So we got a 2-star on Unmendable Cracks, which is that single target attack. So we'll run that. And we did get an extra action, I believe, from Flutter Page is where that comes from. So for now, we're just gonna speed through. But I believe you probably could use Fatutu and Barcarola together because Barcarola has that incantation that is extra. I don't know if it's considered an extra attack though. I do see Fatutu's ult though, so we will be running that this round and giving that a shot. All right, let's see. There we go. Okay, so we have a debuff, we have a buff, we have you, and then we have the Fatutu ult. So I'm just gonna let those speed through. We haven't done a ton of damage yet, but I'm assuming that will go up once we get, like I'm sitting on ults. I would like to see Fatutu's. I just want to see all of it before we get through here. So turn off double speed then, and here's Fatutu's ult. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say this is not crazy about the animation, but this animation is insane. Okay, that might be one of my new faves. Okay, I really like Fatutu's ult animation, which is nice because we've had some that feel kind of lackluster recently. Immediately my mind goes to Willow's ultimate animation and Barcarola's actually, which are both characters I pulled for, by the way, but I thought I wanted more from their ults and I didn't get that. Let's start running. Oh, who's tipsy? No, don't run that. Youngza, you're tipsy. Don't run that. This, so that will stack for next time. Let's run some ults. All right, we can just power through now. So now we can, because that's the thing when I just focus on the actions of a support character, it takes a little bit longer to get through the battle because the characters that are supposed to be doing damage aren't doing their damage. Because the thing with Lopera and Flutter Page is I believe they can also do damage as well as support. Fatutu, however, doesn't do a ton of damage. And that's okay, she's not supposed to. She is here as a healer. Flutter Page and Lopera can do extra damage because they're not here as healers. Fatutu is a support healer. And look at that, we did quite a bit of damage that round, so I'm not surprised. Youngzi, I'm gonna need you to be untipsy. I'm gonna need you to sober up a little bit. I'm kidding, but also not. Because also this is insane, like the amount of damage that is happening here. Yeah, this team hits. All right, let's do that. So those stack, do that. We are now in the tipsy stat. So I'm still gonna run that ult even though she's tipsy. Because I made her tipsy, that was my fault. We're not gonna even run through this entire round. Look at how much health the boss has. 2 health and a dream on this thing. Look at that, we're done. Flutter Page, I still love Flutter Page. That was good, that was actually pretty good. I actually do like Fatutu. If I hit start, oh my god, it threw me back in. Dude, hold on, I'm gonna force quit my game again. I just wanted the rewards. That's all I want. I guess I'm not getting my server rewards. Okay, that's fine. I didn't need them. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I'm so fine, you guys. I did not need them. Part of me wants to pull because I'm like fresh off pity with Barcarola. So we might as well, like for really no good reason. Like it would just be fun to do, you know? I say that, but then, because I'm not close to anything. Because the options are we pull on Wingsong, which is 6 days, or a Fatutu, which is 8. What does Wingsong do? I forget, it's been a while. Same reason why I had to look at what August does. Burst DPS. Do we want to pull for Winsong so I can run her with Vila specifically, just for that reason? Hypothetically, there's less days on Winsong's banner. I think, as much as I like, ooh, should we pull? Okay, you know what we're gonna do? Star and mineral is what we're looking at here. If I filter by mineral, I have quite a few mineral characters, but if I filter by star, I don't have as many friends. I think we're gonna pull for Windsong. Or we could just go back and forth and see who comes home first. That might be fun. You know what? I'm gonna leave it up to fate because I can't decide. We're gonna start on Windsong and then I'm not gonna do temples. We're not gonna do temples. We're gonna go back and forth and see what happens. Because I want both of the characters. So either one of them will come home or neither of them will come home. Let's see what happens. I thought that I lost my recording because it was only at 9 minutes. No, I split it so I could mess with OBS. All right, 4 Fatutu. It's purple. Poltergeist. Hey, Poltergeist. Back to Winsong. Purple again. Actually, it'll probably be smarter for me to keep pulling on Winsong because I'm pretty sure I don't have Click or August. If I go here, I might have Click. No, I don't have Click unless they're all the way down here. Nope, I'm not seeing them. Okay, I think I am gonna pull on Winsong then just so I can try because I'm more likely to get the 5 stars on the banner and I wouldn't be mad if I got Winsong. I have Vila, don't separate them, Should we do Temple? Yeah, let's speed this baby up. Temple for Winsong. Nothing crazy. We just got purple. Yeah, I'll skip this. Nothing crazy, see? That would be we're 13 in now, pity-wise. So we're 13. And I think I have my monthly polls as well because we got the April reset and I didn't do anything. This is 14, then 15, nothing. All right. I might regret this later on, but we're building pity. We're building pity and it's not bad because I'm not mad if I get Windsong or either of these two because I don't have them. Especially August because I almost just grabbed him from the message in a bottle and didn't. So like, I'd be fine with that. August is my son. Let's go to the bank. Max Unilogs, thank you. And then need more Album of the Lost. I don't have those. What's in the teller machine? What do you want from me here? I don't know. We can do another 10 poll. Do you want to bring it up to 25? Yeah. There we go. Gold. What type of gold is it? What type of gold? It is normal gold, so it is going to be a 5-star. I'm holding it out for August, my son. Plant. August is plant. Yay, my son! Quiet. I love August. He's my son. Cuteness aggression. All right, now you can open all. That was worth it. That was worth it. What's up in the bank? Okay, yeah, so we don't have anything there. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Well, I'm out of polls now, but I'm 25 into the pity. Oh, I interacted with Barcarola without really realizing it, and now she's singing. Okay. But I'm not mad about that. We built some pity. I got August, my son. And now I have characters built because I have so much cellular activity I need to deal with that. I got both of them, which is great because I was going between August and Barbara earlier, and look at that. I'll move my screen. We got both of them. Look at that. As much as I love having Barcarola on my main screen, she talks so much. I need to finish building her as well. I now have 50 clear drops to my name, but guess what? We have to do so many events. So Barcarola talks so much. I love you, sweetie, but you talk so much. All right. I probably will end up pulling for a FATUTU at some point because I'm probably going to be finishing stuff up on the very last day of the patch, and I probably will pull for her then. Anyways, that's it for this video. We finally did the patch video. I was going to do the Regulus video today, but I missed it. So wrap back around to that and do a story video sometime soon. Yeah? Oh, yeah. That is it for this video, though. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Razor Cortex, for giving me a notification while I was doing the outro of this video. You kind of suck for that. I now have to restart. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. As always, I hope everyone Hatter is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys. Good luck on your FATUTU polls if this video even goes up in time. Bye.